Yeah, so this one, rescued from the dog before she mouthed it too much. And the girls looked up some information. Apparently it won't eat all the grass and carrots that we give it because it's too young. Yeah, so what's the mix that you're giving it?
Goat milk.
Goat milk, just basically goat milk.
And whipping cream or just straight up goat milk?
Just straight up goat milk.
And it's eating it, eh? It seems to like it.
Yep.
Look how cute that little guy is.
His name is Misty.
Misty. So that's a snowshoe hare bunny.
In the winter it will turn color.
It will. So we're not keeping it until the winter. We're just keeping it until it's grown up enough
until it's old enough to go and survive.
Yeah.
And it's done.
YouTube, what's up? Jeremy the One Wild Crafter here, and I thought what I would do in this video is just give you an update on some projects, some resiliency, some lifestyle preparedness projects that I've got going on, and tour the garden. And while I do that, we are also going to cook on the Mengrills. So Mengrills.com, they sent me this pressure cooker, nice looking unit, and I tested it the other day, so we're going to cook on it again. It is cast aluminum, so it's actually quite light for the size of it. I definitely plan on taking this out camping sometime. It's got some pressure valves on the top, and you can see the shiny aluminum there. And what we're going to do today with that is cook a stew with a venison sirloin, or sorry, not a sirloin, a venison shank. So that venison shank, that's from my fall deer that I got. Normally I would braise this, so I'd put it in a slow cooker for like the whole day. But we're going to put it in the Mengrills. Got some pepper, got some carrots, got some potatoes, some crushed tomatoes, 2 cups of water go in there, no bananas. And I also fried up some onion. Alright, so it is too hot to cook on an outdoor fire today, and it is too nice to cook indoors, so we are going to cook on my propane camp stove. We're going to set that up, and then I'll take you guys for a little walk around and show you what's happening on the homestead front, which is kind of like a borrowed homestead because it's at my parents' place, which is just nearby to my place. So let's throw these onions in here. Come on, onions. Oh yeah, onions and butter, and venison shank. Just do a quick check for dirt and hair. There's a hair, there's a hair. Mostly clean though. That's good. Throw that in there. Now we're gonna put in our veggies. Got the pepper, got the carrot, potatoes. That all goes in on top of the meat. Gonna pour in crushed tomato and 2 cups of water. There's some plant starts behind me. Those are some companion plants that I'm going to put in with the tomatoes and other plants. Oh no, those are my failed ones. I guess my companion plants are in another spot. Oregano and marigolds and borage and some other things. That's all in there. And all we have to do is add salt and pepper. I'm actually going to do that at the end. Put the lid on, put the clamp on, and tighten it up. There we go. That's all there is to it. There's an emergency release valve. There's some pressure valves here. We're going to get those on the stove. We're going to get this steaming. And then once it's steaming, we're going to turn the heat down till there's just a little bit of steam escaping, because we're going to leave it for 2 hours, but we do not want all of our water to evaporate out of it by cooking it too hot. Once we get it up to temperature, it takes very little heat to keep it going. Hey, Ding Dong. Hey. Finally got her trained not to run around in the garden. And wild strawberries are just getting ripe.
You should eat some, they're really good.
How many did you find?
I'm not counting, Daddy.
Oh. She stopped at like 15. We're gonna cook in the garden shed here.
I stopped tracking 4.
Oh, she stopped at 4. She can't count past 4, that's why. Haha. I said you can't count past 4.
No.
Well.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Alright. Let's get this going. This is nice, eh? I'll view the garden out here. Let's go have a look. This raspberry patch was planted about 30 years ago. I'm trying to rejuvenate its productivity. I've been mulching pretty hard with well, kind of whatever I've got, mostly wood chips and dead grass and stuff. They say a 100-foot row of strawberries should get you 100 pints of raspberries. Did I say strawberries earlier? These raspberry plants, a 100-foot row should give you 100 pints of raspberries, so that's pretty awesome. Got tomatoes growing in here, and I've been trying to mulch around these guys. They're hanging on even though it's stinking hot out right now, and we haven't had rain in a few days. Got cucumbers. Where's my other cucumbers? They got frosted a bit the other day. Oops, keep bumping the camera. Sorry, folks. I don't know if they're gonna survive. Like, this one's pretty beat up, but it's got some little baby leaves starting, so maybe it's gonna be okay. Maybe it'll bounce back. Most of these other hills are in zucchinis. They haven't popped up yet, but it's because they need some sun. Certainly not lacking in soil moisture. Zucchinis, zucchinis, zucchinis. This is a row of dry beans. Looks like they haven't come up yet. Oh, I lied. This is a row of carrots and what else? Okra. Carrots and okra. So 2 rows of carrots on the outside, a row of okra down the middle. This is a row of beans. Dry beans, they haven't come up yet. Here's some lettuces, lettuce. They're all spaced in this first piece. And then I planted beets over at this end. Uh-oh, somebody's been digging in here. It's like a whole little hole. Might have to do some mole trapping. I don't think my beets are up yet. But the peas are looking good. I have to put in a pea fence so they can climb. And then I planted sunflowers on the other side. Look, there's a sunflower. I'm pretty sure that's a sunflower. I didn't really have great luck with the germination on them yet, I don't think. And then this last row, these are Amish Nuttall beans. They're another dry bean variety. And then over here, this was grass beside the garden, so what I did is I laid down some mulch, and I put potatoes and a little bit of compost, and then more mulch. So hopefully those potatoes start popping up through, and as they grow through the summer, I'll just keep mulching on top of them. And that is a beer can to trap slugs. One of the challenges we have here is that we get surprise frosts in summer months. So it is June, it's mid-June. Last week we had 2 nights of frost in a row, which is makes it a little bit difficult. I came up and covered everything and tried to keep it all alive. But we're fairly far north compared to probably where a lot of you viewers are. We have a very short garden season, so we're just trying to make the most of it, get these plants going. And one thing we need to do to make sure that is to have a good water system. I'm going to show you what is set up, and I bought some more parts for it today. Let's see what's going on. I hear it's getting hot in there, but no steam yet. Should be pretty soon. I can smell the tomatoes. I can hear stuff bubbling inside, and I can just hear the start of some steam starting to escape. So we're going to wait for this to really start steaming, Then we're going to turn it down, get a nice slow and low cook on that. There's the steam. So we can turn this down a bit. Just going to get it down low. And then we should still see little wisps of steam coming out. I'll check it every once in a while, and if it's not steaming, I'll turn the heat up. And if it's steaming too hard, I'll just turn the heat down, and I'll probably find that sweet spot where it just keeps on steaming low. And that'll take 2 hours, so check the time, 3:30, perfect. Stew at 5:30. How excited are you about stew?
Not excited.
Oh! How excited are you about stew? I'm excited. And I should also mention that this is one of several styles of pot, styles and colors that's available at mengrills.com. I dropped a link in the description. So if you like cooking like this, you should go check out what they've got.
Toad! Is it small? Yeah, it's tiny.
Interrupt this programming to bring you a toad. Where is it? Show it over here by my hand. Oh, I don't want it. In my hand, it's gonna pee on me. Oh, and you dropped it.
I'm gonna hold it.
Nice.
Did I hold it?
Toad. So, when my dad built this house back in the day, he put in an underground cistern. I honestly forget how big it is. I think it's probably 1,000 gallons maybe. And it fills off of the roof water, which is pretty handy. The gutter's empty in there. So we've got that hooked up to a Honda pump and pumps by fire hose all the way up to the garden. So up at the garden, what we have, the pump ends on an adapter for I can run 2 garden hoses off of here. So I'm going to run a soaker hose to do a loop through my parents' garden spot. Then I'm going to put a splitter on here and run 2 sprinklers. Now I made a mistake when I hooked this up, and that is I hooked it all up, dropped the hose down into the cistern, I ran the pump, and of course it picked up that first bit of sediment. And it ended up clogging some of my garden hose, so I had to spend some time cleaning that out. But I think it's all good to go now. For one sprinkler and another hose for another sprinkler. Oh, these big twist ties, those are good for tying up tomato plants and things. Let's hang on to those. I lost my old Kershaw knife that I had for so many years, so I bought this Ontario knife company, just a nice light flat folder that fits my pocket well, it doesn't get in the way, and that's super sharp, so I'm liking that so far. Probably be using that quite a bit. Let's hook this guy up, make sure there's a washer in there to help it seal. Oop, don't cross thread. Good. 2 hoses, 2 Rainbird sprinklers. Gotta make sure I don't throw this package out because it's got the instructions for making the adjustments for the way that it disperses water. It's good, it's got a screen in it too, so that's for dummies like me that forget to flush the lines first, get rid of the sediment. I guess they anticipate that people are going to be pumping from cisterns and ponds and whatever else. Put this, I guess, right around here. It's got a nice step on both sides. And then we'll set the other one up. Trip on the hose. You hear the rooster in the background. Maybe we'll go check on those guys next. The chicken flock. Okay, I think we want this over more so it catches the potato bed over that way. We're a little bit close to the other one. We don't need them to overlap, but we want to cover all of the garden. I'll put that here for now. Yeah, that's a pretty solid stake. That's awesome. Hey chickens. Hey rooster. So that rooster is a Jubilee Orpington. And these two black hens, I'm not sure what they are, but those two fluffy guys at the back, those are Jubilee Orpingtons. And then that little black one, I forget what it is. It's a special breed though. They have no pigment, they're all black. If you look around their pen, you can see it's like when you're in deer country and they browse everything up to the height they can reach. The chickens are the same. They've eaten all the raspberries, all the hazel, all the elder, about as high as they can reach. Now there was a Jubilee Orpington hen that was acting broody the other day. Let's go check on her. Yeah, there she is. So that's fun. She maybe is going to hatch out a batch of chicks, which would be awesome. That breed is known to be pretty good mothers for hatching out eggs. Other breeds are not so great at hatching their own eggs. It'd be pretty cool if they do the work for us. I'll show you. My mom's got chicks in the house that hatched a little while ago, and she's got another batch in the brooder. So she's got Chanticleers, 2 breeds of Chanticleers that hatched out, about a dozen of them. And then she put in eggs from these guys, so there'll be a mix of the Jubilee Orpingtons and those other black ones. Because the rooster's a Jubilee Orpington, so they'll all be at least half Jubilee Orpington. And we are cleaning out this end in here, so it looks like my parents have mostly shoveled it out. We've got 100 rustic rangers coming in a couple weeks as day-old chicks, so we'll be setting up this brooding lamp to keep them warm, and a couple of waterers and feeders, and then we'll set them up as they get big enough. There's a little door behind here, like a chicken door. They'll be able to go out and range on pasture. And I've got this electric poultry netting, so it's got fiberglass posts. You can put it in the ground and run it off of an electrifier, but I'll probably just set it up without the electric. I think it'll be enough of a barrier to keep things out and keep them in. I hear something above. There's something in the hayloft clunking around in there. Some kind of a pest. Something. What's going on up here? Oh, there's all the garden hose I was looking for. That's good to find. Although I've got everything kind of set up now. Is it a raccoon? Is it what's up here making all that racket? The last thing I want to do is crawl into a raccoon, an angry raccoon. Ah, it's a stinking kid! The worst kind of pest. Look at all these deer hides that I haven't done anything with. 1, 2. Oh, this one's nice. Looks like I already scraped this one. Stretched it out properly. 3, 4. Got at least 3 at my place. 7 hides to work. Projects, man. Too many projects. Okay. It's been going real nice. It smells really good. So we are going to turn this off. Just let the propane bleed out of the line here. And then we're going to let it cool down. We have to make sure that all of the steam is done escaping before we open this guy. Alright, let's see what we are getting into here. It's been sat down. There's no more steam coming out. So we let it cool off a little bit. Made a seal here with the main pot. There we go. The gasket was stuck. Oh! Don't turn the lid upside down or you lose your 2 weighted... Oh, come on. You'll lose your 2 little weighted steam controllers there. Pressure controllers. There they are. Oh, it smells like stew. And let's see. I forgot to bring a fork and a knife to cut up the venison. So I'll just have to break a piece off. Now I could have left this to sit a little bit longer, and I might have to for the venison. It's on the bone, so I'm sure that makes a difference in how well it cooks. While I'm fishing out a piece of meat here, I should tell you about, I didn't forget a knife. I always have a knife. About some upcoming videos. So Delphine and I did a spring bear hunt, a successful spring bear hunt. It's a long form video. It's going to take me a while to edit it, and that's partly because I'm waiting on some additional footage. So we were there hunting with her cousins at Wesley Bow Guides, but we were also there with Neil Dubosky, the host of Fuel the Fire TV, which is on the Canadian Sportsman's channel, and we were there with Josh White, who is a co-owner of JR Wetlands Outfitters, and they've got some footage to share as well, because there was more than one bear shot on that trip. Stew. I could have put a few more vegetables in here because it's pretty tomatoey, and I did cut it short on the cooking time. When I did it with beef before, the beef was like super tender, and I can tell that the venison didn't quite get that tender, but the vegetables are all cooked through without being mushy. And that's good. So if you like that pot, head over to mengrills.com, check out what they've got there. And I just want to say thanks to them for sending that. I am going to eat. And if you've got any questions about the garden and some of the projects that I've got going on here, feel free to leave a comment below. I always check them, not always quickly, but I do get to them all, and happy to hear what people share with for their wisdom and knowledge, and share mine as well. So be resourceful, be resilient, and I'll see you on the next video.